morning and welcome to Rose Red Homestead Micro Moment Monday. On our Micro Moment Mondays, we do just little short videos sharing with you new things, exciting things, tips and tricks, and today is no exception. We focus on self-reliance, food security, and emergency preparedness, and today we're going to do some experimenting. We unboxed this in a video that we posted probably a week or two ago, and there were so many comments under that video. Many of you have these turkey roasters and you just absolutely love them. So I was really encouraged by that. And the things that you use them for just blew me away, and I could not wait to try. So today we are going to experiment with baking bread in the turkey roaster. And because we are always very mindful of the possibility of the grid going down, we just had a 6-hour outage a few days ago. It was a planned outage, but they do this to us all the time. And if the grid goes down and stays down for a while, then we are going to want an off-grid way to bake bread. And we already have figured several ways out, but it's so good to have redundancy plans. And for those of you that have a solar generator like our Bluetti, I tested it out this morning, and it will not run on baby Bluetti, it will not run on medium, but it does run on our big Bluetti. And so I was thrilled about that. It pulls 1400 watts right off the bat, and so it takes the big Bluetti in order to run it. And so now we have another option for, well, if it turns out, which if I listen to all of those of you that do bread in your turkey roaster, it should be another way that we will have for baking bread off-grid using our turkey roaster and our Bluetti in the house. And this is the first one that is in the house. The rest are propane, and I have to do those outside. So here we go. Today I am using a recipe that has become our favorite in our book, and this is Baking Bread for Survival and Enjoyment. And this is on page 35. It is oatmeal raisin bread. We bake it both with the raisins and without the raisins, and today it's going to be without the raisins. And instead of oatmeal, as I say in the recipe, 1 cup of old-fashioned rolled oats or 6-grain rolled cereal. And of course, it is the 6-grain rolled cereal that we prefer. So I have it just about done. So let's go over here to where I'm finishing it up, and we'll finish it up. So I have cooked the 6-grain cereal right here. It calls for a cup of milk. And instead of waiting for this to cool down, I just put the 1 cup of milk in here with the 6-grain cereal, and it cools the 6-grain cereal down as it heats the milk up. And so we have perfect temperature for adding to the mix over here. So I do have everything else in the mix bowl right here. I'm just going to dump this in. Let Jim get in there and get a look. So I'm just now going to put the roller on, bring it to the center, put it in place, and we are going to do the mixing. So we will mix this and knead it, or the machine will, for 8 minutes, and then we will be back when we get ready to put it in the container for its first rise. So this is what the lump of dough looks like after the Ankersham, my mixer, has finished its kneading cycle. And I always just like to give it a quick little knead myself to test it, and that machine does such a great job. So now I'm going to put it in this container, and I'm going to knock it down so that it's even all the way around, so we can better, and here's the scale on the side, so that we can better double check to be sure that it has doubled. And then It just sits on the kitchen counter until it's double, and then we'll shape it and we will bring you back when that is the case. All right, we're ready. The dough is now doubled, and it took about twice as long as it usually does. So that tells me that this yeast is on its last legs, so I won't be using the yeast from that package again. Let's take a look inside the roaster and see how we're going to do this. So for sure I can do it this way, and I'm only going to do one loaf today because this is our trial. I'm wondering if I can do two. It looks like maybe I can.
You should be able to.
I think so. Yeah, we'll try two later. Let's make sure it works for one first. Many of you have seen me do this many, many times. So I just roll it into a rectangle and then roll it, do a little stretch as I roll. Makes it tighter on the inside with no air bubbles. And then once I get it in the pan, I knock it down so that it goes side to side, corner to corner. And it seems to give a much better shape to the finished loaf when I do this. And I learned this from one of the bread books that I used as a reference for the bread book that I wrote. Okay, there it is. And I'm just going to stick it in this plastic bag, giving it plenty of height to rise. And when it gets close, I will preheat our turkey roaster, and the next step will be for us to get it in the oven. So here we are ready. Our bread is done. And the way that I test is that I just hold it up so the rim is at eye level, and it needs to be about an inch. It's a little more than an inch now because we were fussing with the temperature in the roaster. Using the infrared thermometer, the infrared measures, it sends a laser out and hits the surface. And the surface temperature is not the same as the air temperature inside the oven. So we have just put a different kind of a thermometer. We're up to 350 degrees inside right now, and so we're gonna go ahead and go. I was worried because it was hitting 450 degrees with that infrared thermometer. All right, so there we are.
Hold it. All right.
And here's keeping our fingers crossed that everything is gonna be okay. Hey Siri, set timer for 25 minutes. Well, it is done, and it is gorgeous. Browned on the top and on the bottom. It's a little bit light on the bottom, lighter than when I do it in the oven, but otherwise it is beautiful. And wow, that is gorgeous. It was not done in 25 minutes the way it usually is in my oven. The internal temperature, according to the this thermometer that we have set up right here, was only got up to about 335 at top, and most of the time it was hovering just a little bit over 300. So I will need to increase the baking time, no big deal. And next time I'm sure that I can get 2 loaves in just fine. So I think this was a fantastic success. I'm so pleased. And I have learned so much from you, our viewers, about the versatility of these roasters, and I already have 2 more things I'm going to try that just really shocked me. So they're going to be a secret, and I'll surprise you with those videos coming up very shortly. Thank you so much for being with us today. We really appreciate you being part of our community. We love our community, and we have such a great time doing these videos. It's such a nice activity for us to have in our retirement. And we just have a great time with each other doing these videos, and we hope that you enjoy them. We hope that you share them with others who may need to have this information too. And if you have not yet subscribed, we would love to have you subscribe. And that way, if you click the bell, you will get notifications every time we post a video. So thanks again for joining us, and we will see you soon for another Micro Moment Monday.